What is up, guys? Saints Hub. Didn't think I'd be making this video after I posted the Zach Bond video. I turned off my TV because I was like, hey, the Saints are probably done. But the New Orleans Saints are not done, but we are now done for the draft. The New Orleans Saints have made not a blockbuster move, but a big and questionable move, and this has nothing to do with the player. It has to do with what we gave up. As it says in the title, the New Orleans Saints drafted tight end out of University of Dayton, Adam Trautman. To get this pick, I believe it was 105, we traded the 130th, the 169th, the 203rd, and the 244. I believe that's a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th. So 4 picks for 1 to move up 25 spots. A value, according to Seth Walder, of the trade, of what we gave up, was apparently a 65th pick in the draft. I mean, you got me one minute screaming over here because I'm so happy, and the next minute I'm conflicted. I really am, because Adam's a great player, and we'll get into that, but what the fuck did we just gave up our draft. What the fuck? Adam's a great player, don't get me wrong. It's the same way I kind of feel about Cesar Ruiz. But this time I have a little more perspective because I was able to get research down and actually be able to analyze this player instead of the Cesar and Zach Bond videos where I just ran upstairs and made a sporadic video of having no research. I actually was able to get data on Adam Trautman, and he's a great player. It's just, I don't know. Saints traded up because they said they were surprised he was even available at the time, so they knew they had to get this. And now that we're out of the running for the draft, Sean Payton says that this will now allow us to prioritize undrafted free agents, but we still have some holes, and those holes include corners. And I think I'm going to address that just a little bit in today's video because this is more about Adam Trautman, the new Orleans Saint tight end. So Adam was a senior this year at the University of Dayton. He was a FCS All-American and the Pioneer League Offensive Player of the Year after recording 70 receptions, 916 yards, and 14 touchdowns, ranked 5th in the FCS in just 11 starts. Those are great stats. I love those stats. I know it's FCS football, and I know what I say usually about lower-level football, but those are great stats. He's also probably playing with a quarterback that is shit because I don't even know, never even heard of the University of Dayton having players go this early, so he's probably ass. Not Zach Bond, so I used to talking about him. Adam Trautman ran a 4.8 on the 40, which is a little slower, but his 6'5" height excites me for this offense. Here's the thing. Adam's a great player, and obviously Sean sees what I see, and that's a prolific tight end. It's just, I don't know, man. Let's read his overview of the NFL. Right now, Trautman is a big pass-catching tight end who needs to prove he can transition from his level of competition and handle bigger, more physical coverage, dogging him around the field. Completely agree. He's got to prove that he can transition from the FCS, which is a lower-level Division I, to the big-time NFL. Do I think he will? I honestly think he will struggle at first because, one, he won't even be our starter. It's Jared Cook who's our starter right now. This is not a pick to replace Jared Cook. This is a pick to find Jared Cook's successor. Josh Hill obviously wasn't going to be that, but Jared Cook is 33, and we have to replace him, and Sean saw his guy. He has a solid athletic profile, but his technique as a blocker will need to be upgraded as teams will likely expect him to play in line due to his size. It says rounds projected 2 through 3, so that's where we got him. Again, why did we give up so much draft capital? I mean, I would have been fine with a 4th and a 5th. And you're saying to yourself, it's just a 6th and a 7th, but it just makes no sense. And also, we gave it to the Vikings. Come the fuck on. We lose to them every year, and we're just giving them fucking picks. The thing about, and I hear a lot of people saying, like, oh, it's just a late-round pick. They're more hit or miss anyway. But we drafted Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the 4th last year, and that turned out to be a hell of a pick. I mean, I think Adam is a hell of a pick. It's just what we gave up makes no sense. So let's go over his pros really quickly. He's heavily targeted and highly productive, presents big target for his quarterback, gets to top speed quickly for a big tight end, frame and demeanor to fight through draping coverage, oh my god, I can't fucking speak today. But we'll skip that one. Uses body positioning to create late catch space, toughness, consistency, catch throughout contact, ball adjustments come naturally to him. Former basketball player, which you love to see in those tight ends because it shows that they have like hops and can get up there. Weaknesses. Benefited from physical mismatches against his competition level, allowed him to run wild with loads of free releases, step counter who ran limited route tree, nothing special after the catch, gears down motor once initial route bears no fruit. Don't know what the hell that means, I'll be 100% honest. Awkward 3-point impedes power potential firing into contact. Initial movements as run blocker out of stance are maniac. Will need to correct hand placement at the point of attack. Like I said, guys, this is not us getting rid of Jared Cook. I don't think anyone thinks that. I think the only reason people are upset is what we gave up to get him, and I agree. We gave up entirely too much to get him. But Adam is a great player, and we should welcome him with open arms because he is going to be the future tight end of this team. I think management knows that Jared Cook doesn't have much time left. He's 33. Yeah, he's balling now, but in a year, he could have a blown knee or something. And Jared's going to be a great mentor to Adam. Adam's going to get some time this year. Obviously, this is good because now Josh Hill isn't the future of our team. Tight end this early, though. Don't know about that. I feel like we needed a corner or receiver more, and now we can't even address that since the draft is done, but that's probably the part that pisses me off the most. There's more needs, and we can't address it. I'm glad we got Emmanuel Sanders, because if we didn't, holy balls, what the hell would we do? I mean, we'd probably draft a receiver, but still, it just makes you wonder, man. There's still some good corners available, I feel like, in free agency, but the Sean Payton saying he wants to prioritize undrafted free agents. Well, I already know who that means we're signing. That 100% means we're signing Mason Fine. Sean Payton has raved about him, and that basically means we're signing him because he's not getting drafted, and we already said we're drafting a quarterback, but now we have no picks. So Mason Fine is basically a New Orleans Saint. You can put in writing. Do I see us trading back up? Knowing the Saints, I can see them trading back up. If they do, there's only one person on earth I want them to do it for, and that's Jacob Eason. We need a quarterback for the future. Jacob Eason, make it happen. Larry Warford. I think we should trade him. I love Larry. He's a great player. But we have Caesar. And Larry's leaving next year. Let's get value out of him now instead of later. Adam's a great player. I think he'll do big things with the Saints. It's just what we gave up kind of bothers me. And there's still more needs on this team. Corners available are Mackenzie Alexander, Logan Ryan, who else was in there? Darquise Dennard, Dre Kirkpatrick, who are all great corners. If we sign one of them, I'll be fine with this because we got our corner. I don't know the wide receiver free agents right now. I assume there's no one better than Tre'Quan Smith, to be completely honest. But we need a corner now, and we don't have money. And we don't have picks. So I don't know how we're going to address that. The future is interesting for the Saints with no picks. Tomorrow will be a very boring day when I thought it was going to be a very exciting day with all these late-round picks. But it's the way the cookie crumbles. We have our future tight end, we have our linebacker, and we have our future lineman. Overall, it's been a good draft, I feel like. We just traded a little too much. I'd rate it a B, but there will be a more in-depth video on that. B only. It would have been an A minus, because we would have gotten a first-round player in the third round. But now we just made a dumb trade, so. I don't know, boys. I'm very conflicted. Adam, welcome to New Orleans. I think it'll be a great fit. I think Jared will teach you well. Just what we gave up was absolutely absurd. If you guys enjoyed this, watch the Zach Bond video down below. More of my reaction. I wasn't actually watching when my phone blew up. If you enjoyed this, hit the like. Until next time, peace.